She ran away from me. I don't believe in introductions, so I'm not going to do one. So I was born in a rather weird age group. I think most of us were. I was born in 1998. Yeah! Which puts me squarely in an age group that I think is considered the elder Generation Z. And it's a very strange age group to be in. And I think part of the reason that it's a very weird group to be in, and we don't really know where we fit, is because we don't really relate with either side. Like, there's the Gen Z kids, and we're way older than them, but then there's the millennials, and we're way younger than them. So we're just kind of stuck in this weird spot between, like, being too old for TikTok, but old enough for soccer boppers. It's ridiculous. Another reason I think that nobody understands where we fit into the system is because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Whoever was in charge of naming and laying out the generations should be fired. First of all, the list begins with the greatest generation, which I don't know if you've ever made a list. But anyone who starts their list with the greatest anything has the foresight of that weird kid that would yell at the teacher and then cry when they went to the principal's office. I really don't know how you could have avoided that one, but really don't. But I gotta tell you, if I am truly part of Gen Z, I must be the dumbest Gen Z kid in the world. And possibly that's just because I was born at a very old age. But another possibility is that I just don't understand anything that Gen Z kids do or say or interact with. For example, Wi-Fi routers. I do not understand Wi-Fi routers. When I was a child, I had dial-up internet, which means I also had a landline, which means that nobody in my family had a cell phone, not because they didn't exist, but because my parents were teachers. And do you think we had that kind of money? So, the way dial-up internet works is you would buy your computer, you would plug it into a power source, you would get a secondary cable, plug it into your computer, plug it into your phone line, the internet would come through your phone line, you turn on the computer, it would make an awful screeching noise that is forever embedded in my brain, and then you would have the slowest internet you have ever had. I could run faster than dial-up internet. I know, I tried. The record was 20 seconds to 20 minutes. My house did not take 20 seconds to cross. I did 4 laps to show off. Anyway, dial-up internet was the worst. It was slow, it was ridiculous, and you couldn't use the phone while someone was on it. So when I was a kid, I heard my parents say, "Get off the computer, I need to use the phone." Which if you told the average Gen Z kid that, they would probably have a brain aneurysm and immediately die. And I think there's some people out there thinking, oh, well, dial-up internet, that's not that different from a router. Well, then how come it doesn't make any sense? Dial-up internet makes sense. The internet comes through the phone line. I kind of understand how a router works. You buy it, you plug it in, you pay the guy every month to, I don't know, ship you the internet. Is there a goblin living in my router, belt feeding internet in? I don't know. I'm just waiting for the time when they put an antenna in my brain and beam the internet directly into my cerebellum. That's the future I want. But I know some people are like, oh, that's not so bad. Like, not a lot of people understand routers. You're not the dumbest Gen Z kid. I've been alive for 21 years, my friends. 21 years. I have known Blu-rays and DVDs are different things for 6 months. When someone told me that, I went into a catatonic state. I was only revived when the EMTs brought me a whiff of my mother's tater tot hot dish, which is the one sure way to awaken any North Dakotan. No, it doesn't make any sense. Don't get me wrong, I love the digital age. I do. I love the fact that we all have these little boxes in our pockets at all times with the entirety of human knowledge on them, and we use them to look at pictures of cats and hate like each other's Instagram posts. It's the greatest thing ever. But I don't think the world was ready for it. We really weren't. You know who definitely wasn't ready for it? Educators. When I was in high school, I had a chemistry teacher, as most high schoolers do. And my chemistry teacher had me and my class memorize the periodic table. And the reasoning for this was that we would not always have the periodic table on hand when we would need it. And first of all, yes I will. Yes I will. There is never been a time in my life where I needed to look at the periodic table and did not have Wi-Fi. Like, is she expecting me to have to use this in a survival scenario? Like, am I going to be lost in the wilderness of Canada without, like, internet access, food, water, or shelter, but secure in my knowledge of the atomic weight of sulfur? Surely this will help me escape my predicament. There is no such thing as survival chemistry. Every single person who has to use chemistry on a daily basis will either have the periodic table in physical form or have access to the internet, or both. We weren't ready for the internet. We weren't ready for it. I think the internet has breeded a very unique kind of culture that's very special to Gen Z and millennials only. Something called meme culture. Some of you might not know what a meme is, that's okay. A meme, in layman's terms, is basically an image or some kind of script that is taken, edited, reshared, taken, edited, reshared, all over the place. It's like a urban legend, but funny. And I was there when meme culture began, all those years ago, 2012. I was there in the beginning days. The Rage comics and the adorable animals, and top and bottom captions. You didn't have to understand memes to get them. They were just funny pictures with funny quotes that you could take and make funnier, or not funny, it's up to you. Now, you have to take a college course in the last 4 years of internet history to even understand what's going on. Like, if you weren't there 4 years ago when a gorilla got shot in Cincinnati, you don't know anything. There are some people in this audience who still don't know what I'm talking about. And it's fine. I like that it's such an inclusive group, as long as it stays on the internet. But now it's leaking into the real world like a virus. The other day, I was in McDonald's, as is my God-given right as an American. And I was getting pop from the pop fountain, which is the correct spelling and pronunciation. And 3 high school kids walk into the McDonald's, and they start talking amongst themselves, and I'm passively listening to them, as a normal, well-adjusted person does. And it took me a good 5 minutes to realize that these children were speaking English. Their conversation was almost entirely internet references. If anyone over the age of 30 had walked in, it would have been like First Contact. Like the aliens are coming off the ship, and the first thing they say is vibe check, followed by the loudest rendition of the USSR national anthem you have ever heard. I don't know what that means. I think the best example of internet culture is definitely this app called TikTok. Some of you are ahead of me. If you don't know, for the 3 of you who don't know what TikTok is, it is a video sharing app that lets you either make original creative content of your own or lip sync to someone far more talented than you. And if you've ever been on TikTok, you will notice that a majority of its user base is young, middle school-aged kids trying very, very hard to be cool. And if you've ever seen kids try to be cool, it is simultaneously the funniest and saddest thing you have ever seen. Because children have no idea how to react to the world. They have no idea how to interact, because they don't know who they are yet. They don't know how to express themselves properly. And you know, I I think we need to give kids more of a chance to be stupid like that. We don't let kids be stupid anymore. I'm not saying don't make fun of them, they deserve it. But, you know, when you post that thing on TikTok saying how cringy they are, do it with a sense of elder wisdom. Because I don't think we let kids be dumb anymore. We need to let kids be dumb so they learn how not to be dumb. When I was a kid, I once went down a plastic slide in shorts on my bare knees. Scraped the hell out of both my knees, landed in the wood chips, because those were safe, I guess. Scraped the hell out of both my knees, and I really had to pee. So I had to walk home with 2 very scraped up knees, and a very full bladder. Which is not a comfortable position for anyone to be in, really. But I learned something from it. I learned that going down a slide in your bare knees is not a good idea. And I was never stupid like that again. But I was stupid like that in other ways. I think we need to realize that kids are stupid. Every single kid is an idiot. Even the smartest child is an idiot. Don't believe me? Have you ever talked to anyone under the age of 15? Like a real conversation? It's dumb. They say dumb things. I know there's someone out there like, my kid's not dumb, my kid's the smartest one in his class. Well, yeah, that's like saying I'm the stillest thing in a room full of chihuahuas. It might be true, but you're not exactly setting a high bar for yourself. But I do. I think these kids, once they get past the stage where they're stupid and we just let them be dumb for a few years, I think these kids can do really great things. Because when it comes down to it, you know, we're only stupid for a limited amount of time. Everyone in the world has been stupid at some point or another. I think as soon as these kids figure out how to actually interact with other human beings that don't go on the internet, then I think they're going to do good things. I have been Marshall Ziegler. Our final performer for tonight is lovely Miss Faith Hicks.